All right, so in this video, we're going to concentrate on calculating the curb or curb and gutter for this project. Now, this project has two types of curb. If it was all one curb, it would be fairly easy. In this case, we actually have two different types. We have a 1B and a 1A. So if we look at the details of the project, I can see here that on my detail sheet, sheet 25, I've got integral curb. And what I want to determine is how much volume of concrete and what is the length of curbing I'm going to need for this type of curb. I've got a 10-inch depth with a 6-inch reveal and a 6-inch thickness. Okay, and that's part of the concrete slab or asphalt drive. If I come over here, I've got a type B concrete curb and gutter. This is 12 inches by could be 18 or 24, 6-inch reveal. 3,500 psi concrete. Okay, so we've got some dimensions here that will give us a cross section, so we can actually determine the length times the cross sectional area, giving us our volume of concrete. So I'm going to show you how to do that here in this video. So the first thing we want to do is identify where our 1A and 1B is, and in some cases, depending on your PDF, if you happen to get a PDF where the layers came in, I already identified as this is my 1B and this is my 1A, then the process is fairly easy. You can use what we have as a tool called standardize, and what we can do is move all these lines that are on this layer to all the lines that are on or to the standard layer called 1B or 1A. In this particular instance, we don't have that luxury. So this is going to be a little bit extra work, and this is something that you'll probably run into more often than not. So I have to move this 1B line, which is on, if we look at the properties of it, it's on this PDF line work, green, yellow, thickness 0.51. Now, you would think we could just isolate this layer or this line and all the objects on that layer. So even if we were to use the select by layer command and pick that line, you'll see that it does pick up the curb on the other side. However, it also picks up curb line over here. Well, this curb line over here is 1A. So we would move it from one layer to another and then have to move it again. So you could certainly do that, but it's probably not the most efficient way to do it. So in this case, unfortunately, we're going to have to kind of figure out which ones are 1B and do this almost in a methodical approach. So I'm going to start up here in this entranceway where I know I've got 1B here and 1B here. And it's pretty easy. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to select the line work that represents my my curb and gutter. And you can see that, I'm going to select this one first. I'm going to hold my control key down and select that line there. And then I'm going to hold my control key to select this line over here. You can see that there's a gap there. And then I'm going to pick that line there. All right. And I know that that's where that curb and gutter kind of comes down and comes back in. Now, I can simply come over here to my properties, or I can right click and go to properties. And then under properties, I can come in and just set that layer to 1A, or I can create a new layer. So what I would recommend you do is either before you start this process, go to CAD, go to the layer manager, and create those layers. So I already have one for 1A, and I need to make one for 1B. So I'm going to go new layer, and I'm just going to come in and call this TO for takeoff underscore curbing and -1B. Now you can create the layers, like I said, any way you want. Name them. I would name them something consistent like this. Totally up to you. I'm going to give this a little thickness as well. I'm going to make this a little bit thicker. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to bump this one up to 5 just so we can see the difference between the objects in our drawing that we haven't put on a layer to the ones that we have. I'm going to put these both on proposed in that proposed group. I'm going to click OK. So now I have this one selected. Now I can come over here, drop down, pick 1B, and try that again. Let's come down here, pick 1B. Now what you want to do is just a tab, so tab out of that, and then just I'm going to left click in my project workspace, and you can see that red line now is that curb and gutter. I'm going to do the same thing over here where I can pick, you know, this line here, and I can see there's a little gap there. So I'm going to hold my control key down, select both of those, pick that one, and now I can do the same thing. I can come over here, drop this down, and go to 1B. So fairly simple process to do that. Now, I would do the same thing on this 1A. I would come in here and select that 1A line, and you can probably follow this around. So I'm going to hold my control key down, and I'm just going to keep on picking these objects. Okay, so here I've got, like, it looks like 3 objects there. So I'm just going to pick one. You can see that it was the wrong one, so I'm going to hit my control key down, and I'm going to left click again. And the one with the checkbox is the one I don't need, so I'm going to click that and unchecks it and unselects it. Now I'm going to come in here and pick that one, and I got 2. So let's pick there, and you can see again, that one doesn't pick up the whole thing, so it's probably picking up these dimensions. So I'm going to hold my control key down again. I'm going to left click to clear that one. And then I'm going to come down here a little bit more, and I'm going to left click, and that one gives me that line. All right, so that one's good. So I'm going to hold my control key down still, left click, and grab that line there. Left click, grab that one. Holding the control key down. If you don't hold the control key down, it's going to deselect everything. So what you could do at any particular time, this could be monotonous depending on how much you have to do. There is a couple of other commands, like a relayer command, that would be helpful. So I'm just going to go to here for now because I got a lot of lines down here, and I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to change this to 1A and tab out of that, and that's going to pick that one up. So now you can see that I've got these lines here. So I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of these objects. Actually, let me show you I'm going to show you the relayer command. So if I hit F12, and I start typing in relayer. Now you can move this command up to a quick access toolbar, or however, anywhere else you want if you want to put it up in your ribbons. Another thing you can do with it, if you wanted to make it a shortcut, you can go to the support tab and you could define the shortcuts. And then in the command list, I could come down here and find the relayer command. So relayer objects, and then I can assign it to a shortcut. So I could come in here and choose one of these options. Now some of them may already be already defined. So like I could come in and say, maybe I want to use Control R for relayer, and you can see that it's already assigned to the restore all command. So what I might do is maybe just do a Control 1 and assign it to that. Okay. So that one's already assigned to relayer objects, so that's good. I'm going to close it. So what I can do is, first of all, if I just come in here now without that command and I now go Control 1, you can see that it opens up the relayer objects command. So it's going to ask you to select the objects, and I'm going to pick this line here, and we'll go ahead and we'll grab this other line here. So if I control down, hold that one, oops, wrong one, that one, and it looks like I got, this is all B, so I can come down here and do this all the way down. And then we'll grab that little piece there. And the target layer here is my 1B, so I can just drop it down and pick 1B. And then when I click OK, it now relayers that. So might be faster than just using the properties. Where it is faster is that because I've assigned that now and I chose it to go to this relayer command, if I select the object and say Control 1, you'll see that it automatically relayers that command without opening up the relayer command box. So I can come in here and pick this one and do Control 1, and it's relayered that one. Now it's saving the last one I did. So if I come in here and do a control 1 again, over here, this is going to be A, right? Because here's where the B is. So if I was to come in here and pick this line and do control 1, it's going to go to that 1B. So the way that you would move this would be to do control 1 without having anything selected. I would change this to A and then select the object and click OK. Now I can come in here and I can select that line or the line that I want it to relayer. And now I can go control 1 and you can see it relayers that. So this method, once you kind of get it configured, would be pretty quick at moving and relayering these objects. So I can go control 1 and over here, control 1. Oops, wrong one. So that one, I made a mistake, so I can just control Z and undo it. Looks like that one is just a slab all the way around. So I may have to draw in that line for that particular one. Let's take a look here. Yep, I can go, let's see, if I go control 1 now, it just picks up that line. So that gives me that portion. Looks like there's only one line. So I might have to come in and join that one later. This one here, control 1. And again, I'm just gonna, again, just using this control 1 around to these areas. And then even here, same thing. I can control 1 that and control 1 that. And control 1 that. Okay. So now I've got basically all my line work on the 2 layers. This one down here, it looks like I have a line that goes from there and it goes all the way down. So what I would need to do in this case is break this line at where this curve is. So I'm just going to right click and select break line and just pick this blue line so that it breaks off and ends there. So this is going to be my A and that's going to be my B. So since I'm still in the A mode and this part of that line is selected, I can close that dialog box, hit control 1 and it relayers that one. And then what I'm going to do on this one, which is just that piece, is I'm just simply going to come over my properties here and I'm going to change that to 1B because I didn't want to have to relayer it or change it, running the command. So a couple different ways to speed things up, and hopefully that's helpful. So I'm going to stop the video here for a second. This will be part 1 of the curbing, and then the next video will be actually showing you how to set up the Material Site Improvement Manager for determining these 2 types of curbs. So I'm going to focus on that piece here in the following video.